Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, and here's my first card using the brand new Wild Cuddly Critters stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This is part of their April 2017 card kit, which as of filming this video, the card kit is still available. I'm sure it's going to sell out very soon, but I will have links to all of the individual elements, the stamp set, the papers, etc., with the supply list. So I chose the elephant from this stamp set and stamped it 2 times onto some Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock with Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. And then I decided to stamp some of the hearts from the set as well and just stamp those multiple times. And I super sped this up. I just did really simple Copic coloring on this image. I just used cool grays to color in the elephant. So going from darkest to lightest, because that for me, especially the last couple years, has just been something I started doing to save myself a little bit of time. It's a little bit less blending that way. However, a person can do whatever works for them. Go from lightest to darkest, back and forth. It really doesn't matter. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. So I colored in with, like I said, cool grays. I will have a list on my blog of the specific colors I used. I added some R20 to the inside of his ears and his little cheeks. And then I couldn't resist coloring the little toenails purple. I just thought that would be so cute. Plus I plan on using some of the purple cardstock that comes in the kit that I just love the color of. So that's kind of what inspired me here. So I did that, and then I colored the second elephant, obviously the same color. And then the hearts, I did a combination of R29, 24, and 22. And then once I was done coloring everything, I am going to trim these out with my detail cutting scissors here, my Cutter Bee scissors. And I'm trimming these out right on the line, which that's another reason why I chose the elephant, because I was like, oh, this will be a pretty easy one to trim out, even though pretty much all of the little images from this set are easy to trim out. But I basically just move the cardstock and not so much my scissors when trimming out, and I cut as close to the line as possible. So once I'm done trimming out everything, I'm going to take my Memento Tuxedo black marker and I just hold it parallel to the cardstock here, and I go along the edges. And doing this covers up all the exposed edges of the cardstock, all the white edges, as well as any little areas that I didn't cut perfectly. This completely covers that, so it looks so much better. And I'm going to show here in a second. I just put it next to the other image that I hadn't yet coated with the black marker. And you can just see, if you pause the video and look closely, how big of a difference it actually makes to take that extra minute to go around the edges with the black marker. You can just see on the one on the left how there's like little white bits exposed and it just doesn't look as finished. So I did that with both elephants and all the hearts, just coated it with that black marker. And I purposely used that tuxedo one because if you were to use a black Copic, the cardstock is going to wick the color from the Copic and it's going to look like it's bled all onto the inside of your image. So that's why I chose, I always use my Memento Tuxedo black for that because it's just easier that way. So once I was done with all that, I die cut a piece of Nina Desert Storm the craft cardstock that's called Desert Storm. And I used the Simon Says Stamp, one of the stitched rectangle dies to do that. And then I stamped a sentiment from that same stamp set with the same intense black ink. And I decided to color it with that same purple marker. And then I chose a lighter purple Copic just to kind of blend it out, just to give it a little bit of an ombre effect. And coloring on craft is always different than coloring on white. It looks different. You kind of have to have an open mind about it, I guess, because you're not going to get as bright of colors because you're coloring on craft. But I still kind of wanted that purple to shine through a bit. So once I was done coloring it, this is where I'm going to use this new, I think it's violet. I forget what name they call it. Yes, violet cardstock. I love this cardstock. I need to get several packs of it. It's such a bright purple. So I just eyeballed it and used my paper trimmer to trim a mat for that die cut piece, just to bring in more of that purple. And I'm going to adhere the craft cardstock flat to that. And then I also die cut a piece of the pattern paper that comes in the kit as well. This is from the new Lawn Fawn Perfectly Plaid Rainbow Pack, and it's fabulous. So I die cut that one with a larger stitched rectangle die. And then I'm getting my layout kind of figured out here where I want to place everything. So I'm going to place my elephant there below the sentiment, and then I was like figuring out where I'm going to place all these hearts. And once I was kind of happy with that, I'm going to adhere the hearts into place with just little dabs of Tombow Mono-Multi adhesive. And once I've got all those adhered, I am going to pop the elephant up with one of these mini action wobbles. There's 3 that come in the kit, but you can also buy bulk packs of these separately. They are so much fun. So I'm going to peel off the back. I'm going to pop that onto my image, and then I'm going to peel off the paper off of the base of this. And once I've got that peeled off, I can press this onto my card front here. So it's going to pop up this little elephant so that he can bounce around, which I will show more at the end. It's so adorable. And of course, I couldn't resist. I had to add some sparkle to the little toenails and to the hearts. So I just grabbed my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle pen here. I'm just scribbling on some of that sparkle onto the nails and onto the heart. So it just gives it that nice little shimmer and sparkle. And I was able to capture it a little bit on video. It's not the easiest to capture, but I just turned the flashlight on my phone and kind of shine. But it's one of those things where the light catches it and you got that really nice sparkle, but it's not like in your face glittery. So I also coated the large letters from the sentiment as well, just because. So I just got that fun little sparkle and shine. And then I'm going to go on and finish the inside of the card in a minute. So I'm going to adhere this to my card base, which is just some heavyweight white cardstock. This is the Nina Solar White in the 110 pound version. So I'm going to adhere my card front to my base, and it's a top folding A2 size card. And then all these extra hearts and that second elephant that I colored, I'm going to use those to finish the inside of my card. So I'm just going to adhere that with some Tombow Mono-Multi and adhere the hearts. And I happen to have one more of the large hearts left, so rather than let that go to waste, I decided I was going to just add that to the back of my card just as a little something. I get people asking that a lot, like, do I stamp the backs of my cards, do I sign them? I do have a stamp, and then sometimes I sign them. It just depends on my mood. So yeah, just whatever's handy. I sign it with a pen, or I stamp it with my custom little stamp that says my name and has my blog address. So I finished off all these little images again, just adding that little clear spectrum sparkle. And then I couldn't not add googly eyes to this image. It's just, I couldn't resist. I thought it'd be so fun, especially with it bouncing around the way it's going to do. So I grabbed 2 Google eyes that were the right size, and I'm going to adhere those into place with my multimedia matte adhesive, just in case that oozed out a bit, which I think it did. It dries matte so you don't see it and it's not sticky. And that finished off this card. It's so much fun with the Google eyes and the way it pops around. So these action wobbles are great because they flatten just like so. So you can pop that into an envelope and it's not super thick and dimensional, but then when you let it go, it's popped right up, and then it can bounce around when you flick it with your finger. So much fun, and such an easy way to add, you know, this little interactive element to your card. So that is my card for today. As always, I will have links below the video to all the supplies used, as well as links to my blog post. There will be pictures, a picture of all the Copic colors used, all that kind of info. So check out the description box below the video if you're interested in any of that. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribing, thumbs upping, and commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.